Good morning. Would you go ahead and identify yourselves for the record, starting with the department?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Lamar Davis, Prominent State Police.
Michelle Gerard, I'm an attorney for State Police.
Scott Willison, attorney for Jacob Brown.
Jacob Brown.
Good morning. I think it was your request, so we'll hear from you first.
Yes, commission members, the department submitted this request. In the request, we pointed out that there was an arrest made on December 10th, 2020 for charges that relate to on-duty conduct of Trooper Brown. The department has already exhausted the 400 hours of paid administrative leave that are provided for by commission rules. When that leave ran out on or about February 3rd, Trooper Brown was placed on forced compensatory leave pending this request to the commission for suspension without pay.
Does the department know what Trooper Brown's leave balances are?
Yes, sir, we do. Currently, his straight pay time leave balance is 284 hours, 84.5 hours. His time and a half compensatory leave is 306 hours. Annual leave is 700.878 hours, 878 hours.
800 and what, I'm sorry?
700.878.
Is that all you want to say relative to your request?
Sure, if the commission members have any questions, Colonel Davis and I are available.
Colonel, did you have anything you'd like to say at this point?
No, sir. I definitely endorse that. This has been basically the way we've handled these type of requests in the past, and we'd like to remain consistent in doing so.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Mr. Wilson.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to address the commission. Before I address the question of leave, I would like to bring to the commission's attention a matter that affects the integrity of the internal affairs investigation into this matter, as well as the disposition that the commission may arrive at today. I've been involved.
To what extent would the question about the integrity of the internal affairs have a bearing on the question that we're being presented with today?
Because
I'd like to hear that before we get into that discussion.
We request that all administrative matters be stayed pending an executive director's investigation into the leaks that are occurring at the Louisiana State Police Internal Affairs Division that affected this case and the matter involving Chris Hollingsworth. And so that's the nexus between our request for a discussion on those matters and the nexus between this case. So the internal
I'm
affairs.
missing it, but at least I'm not seeing where there's a relationship between that and the issue of leave.
I understand. We asked that Mr. Brown be reinstated. All administrative investigations be stayed pending an investigation into the leaks in the Internal Affairs Division. Until that leak is located and stopped, any administrative proceedings arising out of this incident in Jacob Brown or tainted. Mr. Brown was arrested on Monday. Before we reached the jail, WBRZ was already reporting the arrest. Christopher Hollingsworth was suspended and received a notice back in October that he was going to be terminated. I was involved in that IA investigation as well. As we probably all know, there were 17 seconds of audio recording that were released to WBRZ and have now been quoted in national news all over the country. So what I'm experiencing here is a continuation of the leaks in the Internal Affairs Department. We ask that the commission investigate that. The commission is in the best position to order an investigation and determine the source of the leaks and put a stop to this so it does not continue to taint this investigation.
You do acknowledge and understand there would be a right of appeal from any determination that is made by the department.
We understand that.
And you're also aware that on today's agenda is the opportunity for reinstatement of any force to leave if, in fact, Trooper Brown is exonerated.
I understand that, and that was the second point of my request. In lieu of a complete stay of these administrative proceedings, based on what we would hope to be an investigation by the commission into the leaks, we certainly request that Mr. Brown be reinstated until such time as an actual investigation is completed that would be able to result in administrative findings. At this point, the administrative investigation is completely tainted, and we believe any suspension without pay would be tainted as well. So we oppose a suspension
How would
without
you
pay.
propose that this commission make a finding that would be consistent, make a finding to support what you're asking for before we have an opportunity to hear any of the evidence? You're asking us, in my opinion, you're asking us to put the cart before the horse.
Well, I understand, and we're here today to ask that the commission investigate. In lieu of an investigation, and until such time as an investigation occurs, we ask that all administrative proceedings against Mr. Brown be stayed. If, in the event that the commission determines that the request is substantiated and that Mr. Trooper Brown should be placed on suspension, we request that he be allowed the opportunity to use his non-compensatory K time and his annual leave.
Well, the last of those may be something within our power.
Understand?
Would anyone make a motion, I'm just putting it on the floor, if there is a motion, that the administrative proceedings be stayed? Fails without a motion. All right. Any other comments?
No other comment.
All right. Did anyone make a motion that Trooper Brown be allowed to use his already accumulated leave during the time of his suspension? I would so move because I think that would be consistent with our previous practices. Yeah, well, but we have to still approve it.
I'll make a motion.
All right, so we have a motion that Trooper Brown be allowed to use his already accumulated leave during the time of his suspension, subject to whatever rights he may or may not have later to seek some remedies. We have a second to that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.